Power BI versus Tableau versus Looker, which BI tool is right for your business? Power BI versus Tableau versus Looker, which BI tool is right for your business? That's what we're tackling today. If you've been wondering about Power BI consulting services, stick around. Next up, Power BI versus Tableau versus Looker, how the three BI tools compare. The short version: Power BI wins on cost and Microsoft integration, Tableau wins on visual exploration depth, and Looker wins on governed data modeling for cloud-native warehouses. None of them is universally best. The right answer depends on where your data lives and who maintains the reports. Power BI Pro runs about $10 per user per month, with premium capacity for larger deployments. Tableau Creator licenses sit closer to $75 per user per month, and Looker uses custom platform pricing that often starts in the tens of thousands annually. For a 200-person finance team, that gap compounds fast. If you are budgeting a broader rollout, our Power BI dashboard development process and pricing guide breaks the numbers down further. Power BI connects natively to Azure SQL, Dataverse, Synapse, and Microsoft 365, which matters if your operational data already lives there. Tableau connects to almost anything but treats Microsoft sources as just another connector. Looker assumes your data is already modeled in a cloud warehouse like BigQuery or Snowflake. For organizations standardized on Azure, Power BI removes an entire integration layer that the other two require you to build and maintain. Let's talk about moving on to why Microsoft Stack teams usually choose Power BI. For companies already running Azure, Dynamics 365, and Microsoft 365, Power BI is the default choice, and the reasons go beyond price. This is where Power BI consulting services earn their fee, because the integration advantages are easy to claim and harder to implement well. For Microsoft Stack companies, Power BI is usually the better fit because it shares authentication, security, and data lineage with the rest of your Azure environment. Row-level security defined in Azure Active Directory flows straight into reports. Tableau can integrate, but you maintain that bridge yourself. We cover the broader vendor decision in our Power BI Consulting Services Guide on what to expect. Connecting Power BI to Azure SQL takes 3 practical steps: configure a gateway or use direct query for live data, set credentials through managed identity rather than stored passwords, and define row-level security at the dataset level. According to Microsoft's official Power BI documentation, direct query keeps reports current without importing full tables, which suits regulated industries that cannot copy patient or transaction data into extracts. Next up, moving on to what Power BI consulting services actually deliver. Hiring a Power Platform development company for BI work is not about someone building charts. It is about data modeling, performance, governance, and the unglamorous plumbing that decides whether your reports stay trustworthy at scale. Strong Power BI dashboard development starts with a clean star schema model, not visuals. Consultants shape your tables, write efficient DAX measures, and set refresh schedules that do not break under load. The dashboard is the last 20% of the work. Our write-up on Power BI dashboard development best practices walks through that sequencing. Slow reports kill adoption. We have seen 90-second load times drop to under 5 seconds purely through model optimization, removing unused columns, switching to import mode where appropriate, and pre-aggregating large fact tables. A study by Gartner consistently ranks data and analytics governance among the top barriers to BI adoption, and performance is part of that governance story. Let's talk about next up, how to prevent shadow IT with Power Platform governance. The moment you give business users Power BI and Power Apps, you also create the risk of ungoverned data flows. This is the conversation that separates a one-off project from a sustainable program. Power Platform governance is the set of policies, environments, and controls that decide who can build what, with which data, and under what approval. It prevents shadow IT through DLP policies, environment strategies, and approval workflows. Without it, you get duplicate apps, exported spreadsheets, and compliance gaps nobody can audit. Our Power Platform governance framework with 6 pillars lays out the model we use. Data loss prevention policies group connectors into business and non-business buckets, then block flows that mix the two. A finance environment might allow Dataverse and SQL but block public social connectors. We detail what to restrict in DLP policies in Power Platform, what to lock down. Done right, DLP stops a citizen developer from accidentally piping customer records into an unapproved service. Now, what is a Power Platform Center of Excellence? Governance needs an owner. A Power Platform Center of Excellence is the team and toolkit that operationalizes the rules across your whole organization rather than per project. A Power Platform Center of Excellence is a central function that standardizes governance, monitors all environments, supports makers, and tracks adoption across the tenant. Q Services implements a Power Platform Center of Excellence using Microsoft's COE toolkit, which auto-inventories every app, flow, and connector so nothing runs in the dark. Our 5-phase build guide is here. Power Platform Center of Excellence, how to build and run one. Application lifecycle management is what stops it worked in dev disasters. Power Platform ALM uses solutions, managed environments, and pipelines to move apps from development to test to production with version control. This is the same delivery discipline we apply across enterprise application development projects. Let's talk about choosing between Canvas and model-driven when you build. BI tool selection often triggers a parallel app decision, since dashboards expose the processes you will want to automate next. The Power Apps Canvas versus model-driven choice comes down to control versus structure. Canvas apps give pixel-level design freedom for task-focused tools, while model-driven apps generate UI from your dataverse schema for data-heavy, process-driven systems. We built a working tool fast using Canvas, documented in how we built a leave management app in 3 days. Dashboards show what happened. Power Automate Consulting builds the flows that act on it. A drop in inventory triggers a reorder. A flagged transaction routes to review. Our Power Automate workflow examples with setup steps show 10 real business flows, and the best Power Automate workflow examples tie directly into a BI alert. Let's talk about conclusion. Choosing between Power BI, Tableau, and Looker is a stack decision before it is a feature decision. For Microsoft-centric organizations, Power BI consulting services remove integration overhead, lower licensing cost, and keep analytics inside the same governance and security model as the rest of your Azure environment. Tableau still wins for deep visual exploration, and Looker fits cloud-native warehouse teams, but neither matches Power BI's fit for teams already running Dataverse, Azure SQL, and Microsoft 365. The bigger win comes from pairing the right BI tool with Power Platform governance, a center of excellence, and ALM discipline so reports stay trustworthy as you scale. If you want help matching the tool to your data estate before you commit budget, talk to our team about a BI and Power Platform assessment.